Welcome to Suburban Death Metal Dad Bonus Tracks, Episode 49, Cassette Collection Part 1. So I don't have a ton of cassettes, but I just figure I'll make a video and show what I do have and maybe explain why I still have it. And I do have one story to tell that goes along with one of the cassettes. And the only cassette player I do have is this, basically Walkman style, which I just used and haven't used it for years to connect to the computer and digitize the cassettes that I didn't have CDs for. That's pretty much it. So this is totally random. I'm just going to grab them out of this bag. Like I said, just say what I want to say about it and move on. So first one up, Nuclear Assault, Fight to Be Free. It has 3 tracks, which I did talk about this one in the Nuclear Assault Recommends video. It's got one song on here, Stand Up, that wasn't on the Survive CD, the original pressing anyway. I have a later pressing that I think is unofficial that has it. Alright, next up, Power Mad. The Madness Begins. Power Mad was a thrash metal band from Minnesota. This is from the 80s. And I don't think they're still active anymore. But this is a 4-song EP. I like it a lot. A really good song on here called Terminator. They did a video for, and a Ramones cover, Gimme Gimme Shock Treatment. So if you like 80s thrash, maybe look that one up. All right, next up, and this is one that's going to be a bit different from everything else, I believe. It's just a compilation of 80s songs. And yeah, I'm an 80s fan, pop rock, so I just held on to it for that reason. All right, next up, Carnivore, Retaliation. And the reason I kept this was because when I eventually did get the CD, it was Retaliation and the debut, self-titled, together on one CD, but they cut out 3 songs because they couldn't fit both albums in full on the CD, so that's why I hung on to this one and just never got rid of it. Of course, they reissued those Carnivore albums later with a full track listing. All right, next up, and I did a video on this one, Complete Death 2, the compilation on Death Records, and just a killer compilation, probably my favorite. All right, next up, Violence, Eternal Nightmare. I did do a video on the CD because it's the most expensive CD I ever bought, and I just hung on to the cassette. Such a killer release, really. All right, next up, Destruction, Eternal Devastation, Mad Butcher, together on one cassette, which I talked about in the Destruction Recommends video. For some reason, I hung on to all my Destruction cassettes. Just didn't want to get rid of them, even though I have the CDs. And here's another one, Infernal Overkill. Great one, probably my favorite Destruction release. Although everything from the 80s is pretty great. All right, next up, Nuclear Assault, Game Over. And once again, I talked about this one in the Recommends video. I hung on to it because the song Lesbians wasn't on the CD. And the story for this one is, this is like 1987. I had this one and MOD, USA for MOD, and had someone that was a friend, but not really a friend. I found out later. He wanted to borrow the Nuclear Assault and the MOD cassettes, and I was very hesitant to do that because I didn't really trust him. But I ended up letting him borrow the cassettes, and then he told me that another kid who lived down the street from me, and they're both older and bigger than me, but whatever, had taken them from him. So I didn't believe him. I went to the other kid's house. I said, hey, I was told that you took my cassettes from so-and-so, and he just handed them right back, no fuss, nothing. That was it. And basically confessed that the other kid said, yeah, can you hold these for me? So yeah, the other kid was trying to steal them, but I got them back. All right, next up, Grind Crusher, a compilation from Earache Records, and great ones on this are Repulsion, Carcass, Godflesh, Terrorizer, Napalm Death, Entomb, Nocturnus, Bolt Thrower. It's just loaded with great songs. And there's a bunch of other bands on here. Some of it's, you know, not my taste, but most of it's pretty good. So, yeah, I have the CD, but I just hung on to the cassette. I remember it was really cheap when I bought it when it came out. I got the cassette because at the time I wasn't buying CDs yet, and it was like $3-4 or something, like really cheap, brand new in the store. All right, next up, this one's a little bit obscure, I would say. Doom Watch, A Symphony of Decadence, and this is basically like a crossover band from Pittsburgh, and they're only full length. And this would definitely have fit very well on that Complete Death 2 compilation. All right, next up, another compilation, JL America, and it's from the 90s, and hung on to this one. Don't have it on CD, but a lot of great bands on here. Morpheus Descends, Killing Addiction, Disastrous Murmur, Acheron, Immortal, Master's Hammer, Impaled Nazarene, and a few other ones. So really good compilation. All right, Megadeth, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. And I hung on to this one for so long because for a long time there was no CD that I had that had the These Boots cover song on it. And the remix they did, they bleeped out one of the words. I don't remember. Probably a swear word, whatever it was, and basically ruined that remix in my opinion. But the Japanese version of Killing Is My Business had that bonus track on it, so I got that eventually, and it still hung onto the cassette. All right, next up, DRI Crossover, and I have the CD. I'm not sure exactly why I held on to this one, but I did. It's not my favorite, but it is a good DRI record. All right, next up, another killer compilation here, Death Is Just the Beginning, Part 1, put out by Nuclear Blast, and great bands on here. Defecation, Incubus, Dismember, Master, Pungent Stench, Righteous Pigs, Benediction, Revenant, and a bunch of others, so really great compilation. I do have the CD. I think the cassette and the CD are maybe not easy to come by, but it's definitely worth it if you can find it. All right, killer thrash band from Germany, Death Row and Raging Steel, my favorite from them. And I have the CD, but just hung on to the cassette because I like it so much. And their other albums are good too. They have 3 other albums, but that's my favorite. All right, next up, The Accused, Grinning Like an Undertaker. And I never found this on CD, so I just hung on to the cassette. Destruction, Live Without Sense. And once again, another Nuclear Assault, 3-song EP, 2 exclusive tracks on here, which are really good. Demolition and Final Flight. I like those songs a lot. And then the song Brain Death. All right, next up, another compilation, Brutal Aggression. And this one is pretty similar to the JL America. It's got Morpheus Descends, Acheron, Goat Lord, Doomsnake Cult, Beherit, Killing Addiction. No CD, so I hung on to that one. All right, Mentors, Shock Rock from Washington State. Of course, El Duce's been dead for a while. And I think it was Sicky Wifebeater died recently, either this year or last year, late last year, I don't remember exactly. But Mentors, yeah. Pretty original sounding band and very offensive. So good stuff in my opinion. And yeah, that does it. That was the last one. So yeah, that's my cassette collection. I didn't include demos. I don't have a ton of demos, but eventually I'll show those, and probably some of those I'll be showing along with, like if I do recommends of a certain band, I have their demos on cassette, I'll show them. Like I said, I don't have a lot of demos. I was never huge into demos, and it's just, you know, I was always just going to the store and buying the CDs or cassettes or whatever. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.